Hi, good morning, folks. I'm Mark Durick. I'm publisher of Eyecare Business Magazine, and we're here at the Vision Council Summit at the Barton Creek Resort in beautiful Austin, Texas. And I'm here with our good friend Brian Bolio. And Brian is the chief economist for ITR Economics, and he's giving a presentation today. But before that, he's going to spend a few minutes with us just to talk about what he's going to talk about today, and maybe another few other questions that we're going to ask him today. So, good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Mark.
Yeah,
How you doing?
good, very good. Thanks for being here with
My
us.
pleasure.
We appreciate it. So, just a quick few questions here for you, Brian. Now, when you go into the presentation this morning, what kind of news bites will you give the ECPs on the economic outlook for this year and maybe next year?
A little bit of both, actually. The biggest thing is with the Federal Reserve having created this inverse yield curve, they've really dampened the prospects for growth in the second half of 23, and they're going to make growth difficult in 2024. I mean, that's already happened. There's nothing we can do about it. So now it's up to the individual business leaders to figure out how they are going to do better than the overall economic environment that's being given to them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, as far as the looming recession, whatever we're going to call it out there, do you see one coming? And if the answer is yes to that, what kind of impact does that have?
Yes, we see a recession coming, although it may not technically be called a recession if you use GDP. GDP technically should decline for two consecutive quarters for it to be a recession. We see it declining 1Q 2024, stabilizing 2Q, and going down again in the third quarter. So whether the BEA wants to call that a recession or not is going to be up to them. It's semantics at that point. Mm-hmm. Real retail sales, that means retail sales adjusted for inflation, are expected to go negative. And what that means for our folks is that unit volume is probably going to be more sluggish than top dollar revenue is going to be. The top line is going to look better. Unit volume is going to be slower, and that's going to impact the bottom line more than normally, I think, if they don't watch their inventory turns, if they don't watch their pricing very, very carefully.
Mm-hmm. Now, staffing is a big issue, Brian, not only in this industry, but a lot of industries. And, I just read something yesterday. There's 10 million jobs out there, but only 4 million applicants. It's like a crazy figure. So, what's your thought process about that particular comment?
That problem is not going to be going away anytime soon. People have opted out of the workforce for various and sundry reasons. It all started during the pandemic. Remember, even before the pandemic, we were in a very tight labor situation. The pandemic simply has made that worse because more people exited the labor force. We're going to have to find ways to automate as many processes as we can, whether it's information processes, besides the distribution aspects of it all. You're going to end up paying more to retain your very good people, and that's part of the inflationary pressures going forward. And that's another pressure on margins, obviously.
Right. Yeah, I heard that just the other day from a couple of CEOs that were potentially going to lose people, and they had to give them a giant raise. Otherwise, they were out the door. So, last question, Brian, regarding private equity. The exit strategy of a lot of ECPs that want to sell their business and move on, whatever. With what's going on right now, what's your advice to them if they did have an exit strategy? Do they wait, or they keep on moving and try to make it happen? Or
there's a lot of variables involved with exit strategies having to do with health, family, much more than just age, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going to move ahead with your exit strategy in 23 or even 24, don't get yourself into a situation where they're asking you to stick around for 3 years as part of an earn-out that always gets messy, and it's going to get even messier with the economy softening up. So the trends that you're bringing into the acquisition or the sale are not going to be the trends that you're going to experience over the next 2 years, and that's very complicated.
Right.
So you have to take a little bit of a hit on the multiple rather than getting in an earn-out situation. Take the nick on the multiple.
Right.
Just be done with it at this particular time.
Get everything up front.
Right. And if you can wait, wait until 26.
Sure.
But for some of us, that's 3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
4 years is a long time.
Yeah, that's right. Great. Well, Brian, thank you very much for your time
pleasure,
today.
Mark.
We appreciate it. It's great to see you. And thanks, everyone out there.
Thank you.
Continue tuning in, and appreciate your time today. Thank you.